Hello, everybody. This is Dave Wallace coming to you from my home here in Waihawa, Hawaii. And it's a beautiful evening. And welcome to Monday Talk Story Time on Tuesday under the lychee tree. Anyway, I've been really busy. Been trying to meet some deadlines and self-imposed deadlines to get my stories out. And I have two stories on Kindle Vella that people are following. And thank you very much for reading them. I do get credit if you just read through. You don't have to purchase anything. If you do read the stories, and if you do have Kindle Unlimited, most of my stories are available there free. Okay, and if you read it, I still get credit. Okay, so thank you so much for your support. Update on my our Anna Blaze story. I just received the finished copy of chapter 4 for book number 2. So we got one more chapter for book number 2, and we'll be finishing that. I've already started writing book number 3. In fact, I'm on chapter 2, and it's exciting. Trying to get all of these things. It's really interesting that because I'm writing more and the type of person I am, the more things I got in a fire, the clearer I think. And by having a lot of different projects going on at the same time, it's actually helping me tremendously because I set deadlines for myself. And if I only had one thing to do, I'd probably drag it along. And but now, with so many different things going on, there is a pressure for me to finish and get things out there. So that's where I'm at right now. Okay, today I wanted to share with you what's happening in my work, and some of the things that's been happening is that I've been teaching more. Okay, I've been doing more teaching sessions over the internet via Zoom. And one of the things that I'm really happy about doing again is getting back into hockey. And to refresh your mind, your memory, if I haven't told you about this anyway, hockey is something that I put together by combining the skills of remote viewing and um, Reiki. Okay, so I became a Reiki master first, and my ancestors asked me to learn how to remote view. And once I mastered both of these techniques, they asked me to put something together that fell in line with what my ancient ancestors used to do. Some of them were kahuna haha, which were kahunas that specialize in diagnosing illness, locating illness in the body, and finding what's happening inside the body. So that was their expertise. So um, haki is a derivative of that, and it comes close to what my ancestors were able to do. My latest uh, my latest client was we worked this past weekend, and she did a wonderful job doing both the HA scan and the Ki scan. So, in Hockey Medical Intuition, which is the first thing my ancestors asked me to put together, uh, what we do is I try and teach, and I try and do this myself. I teach myself and taught myself how to read energy in the human body. And this came along with my practice as a Reiki master. Okay. Once I became involved in Reiki, I got to understand what energy is about. Okay. And so in Haki, we read the energy that's inside the human body. And energy in a human body, the mana that we carry, the high energy that we carry, um, carries all of the information about our health and our present condition. If there's something wrong happening in our body, we can sense that our high energy puts it out. And for people like me who are sensitive in reading the high energy in a person, we can become very sensitive to understanding that the person sitting right next to us or across the table not feeling well. Okay, I've had numerous occasions where I'm sitting at a party and minding my own business and talking with my wife and my friends around me, and all of a sudden someone comes and sit across the table, and boom, I feel like this person is sapping the life out of me. And as soon as I feel that, I know something is wrong with this person. And normally I'll just sit there and try and understand, okay, what's happening? Why is this person drawing energy from me, and where is the energy being drawn? And within, 2-3 minutes of this person sitting across me, I automatically am drawn to the area of concern where something is happening, in this person. One of my first times doing this was at a party just down the road, and a man came. I didn't know who he was, and he sat across me at a party, and all of a sudden I felt ill. I felt sick, and this energy was just being pulled right across the table, and I knew exactly this man had something very serious going on. And the way my body was reacting, the only disease that I react physically that way was cancer. And so sitting across, and I looked at him, and I looked at his skin tone, the way his body was, and I tried to lean forward and taking a deep breath. And for me, I can smell the cancer on someone, and he had the smell. And so I'm sitting over there and wondering, okay, should I tell this person? Is this person is aware or what? Then he started coughing. And when I heard his cough and I heard the rattling in his chest, yep. So I asked him if he was okay, and was he seeing a doctor? And he told me, well, he has. The doctors say that he has pneumonia. And I says, on the lower side of your lungs. See, yeah. They're interested in something on the lower side of the lungs. So I told him, especially the right side, yeah. And he looked, yeah, how you know? Says, well, next time you go see a doctor, self insist on taking a better and deeper look at this area, because it's much more serious than what you think. And he kind of like looked at me, and I found out that he was family of the host of the party. And so I talked to the host and say, you know what, go talk to your relative over there, make sure that when he goes to the doctor next time, ask the doctor to take a better look at the chest, because it's far more serious than pneumonia. Okay. And she said, yeah, we've been trying to get him to see a different doctor, get a second opinion, but he's going to a tripler, and the military is saying, nah, it's just this and that. And I said, no, it's real serious. Go back, see the same doctor, and he insists on getting a better scan. Take the blood work, go see the scans, and get X-rays, because it's not good. And so a week after the party, he finally went in and seen the doctor. And after he came out, the sister called me. Says, Dave, what you sensed was correct. Did you sense cancer? I say, yes, and not only cancer, but very, very late stage cancer. And she said, you're correct. The cancer in his lung is stage 4, very serious. Okay, so that is just by reading the high energy that the high energy is reaching out, trying to communicate. I need help. I need help. Okay, and being across a person that's sensitive and can read the high energy, and by turning on my after I told the person, I sensed something and I got permission from him. I started looking into the chest area, and on his lower right side of his lung, and so for me it looked like it all lit up. It was like a tiny community, and they're all lit up, and it was red, and didn't look good, but it was just glowing, and that's where the cancer um, had really gone in and infected this area, and it was filling up his lungs with fluid. And so I'm not too sure how he made out with that, but the diagnosis was stage 4, and he wasn't given much time. Okay, so we need to be aware of that. So the key part seen is once you read the high energy and find out where and what is happening to the body. The key part or seeing the imagery has to do with using imagination and looking and training your mind how to look into the body. And in my training that we had this past weekend, I was telling her it's almost like, you know, taking an X-ray and going deeper and deeper and deeper, or something like a miner who is kind of like digging into a tunnel and exploring until they reach the source of where these things are happening. And the interesting thing about it is that in all of my KE scans, I'll go as deep as needed. Like this man, I pass his skin, the skin that covers his chest. I pass the rib cage, and as soon as I hit the lungs, it stopped, and it showed me to take a look at the lungs. And now, because I'm a medical intuitive and I'm not a trained physician, I cannot make diagnosis. So that's why I was trying to stay away from saying, "Hey, bro, you get cancer." I cannot do that because I didn't run any tests, and I'm not trained as a physician to do that. But I can describe what I'm seeing. And I told him what I saw. The bottom portion of both of his lungs, especially the right side, it looks all red. Uh, for me, it's lighting up and it wants attention. It's drawing my energy, and I'm very concerned about that. And I also see fluid building up in both of your lungs, and which is causing you problems to breathe. Is that correct? And he goes, "Yeah, I get a hard time sleeping." Okay, so he has to go in and drain the fluids. When I had my open heart surgery, I know how bad it can get when your lungs get filled up with water or blood, because I had to have my lungs drained twice yeah, while I was recovering. And I tell you, as soon as they drain it from me. You get a coughing fit, but after that, feels so good. You can have a really really good breath, and draw a breath. And that's what happened to him when he went and had his lungs drained. So in teaching Haki, that's what I do. Um, we use proxies because I'm no longer teaching people, face to face live sessions. All of the classes that I give are online, but I teach you how to use a proxy to represent the person that you're scanning. And the proxies work amazingly well. In fact, I prefer working with the proxy because the person sitting before me, sometimes they play games with me. Okay, just like let me see what you can find out. Okay, I want you to scan my throat. In reality, they want me to take a look at their heart. Okay, and they expect me to read their mind. To knowing that I'm psychic, they want me to read their minds. But I said, don't play games with me. Tell me exactly where you want me to take a look at, because I'm not going to waste my time to take a look at all your body if your problem is in a certain area. So be specific, help me out, and so let's be honest with each other, okay? So that's how I work with people, and it's been a really rewarding time for me, as I've been able to help many people who are afraid of getting medical help and afraid of seeing the doctor. And that's my function as a medical intuitive. There's many people, when they sense something, and something, or they know something is wrong with their body, they come and see me, and I try and help them um, you know, put away their fears and take a look at their condition realistically. And if after the scan I feel that um, this condition is really serious, I recommend them to go and see the doctor, because it will not get well all by itself. It needs intervention. And the type of intervention that you're asking is, I cannot perform for you. So, you need to get together with a doctor, okay? And some other people, I remember doing a scan. A woman called me up and panicking because her young daughter, who just turned 21, um, complained about having a lump in her breast, and the mom, who had breast cancer, freaked out, and she was sure, 100% sure, that the daughter also came down with breast cancer. And so she was frantically looking for a psychic or someone like me, a medical intuitive, to do a reading and to see what we could find. So I met with the young lady and the mother. And first thing, when I walked up, they walked up to me and introduced themselves. You could see the worry, and all written all over both faces. And the one that was most worried was the mother. Okay, and she allowed her worry and fears to get over to the daughter, and the daughter was scared to death. Okay, and she was really worried. And so after I sat down and started talking with her, with both of them, I was there kind of like 10 minutes, just shooting the breeze. And again, the reason is that I do have a physical reaction to cancer. And the reason for me sitting and talking started with them, I was waiting for this reaction to come out. And I'm over there 10 minutes talking to them, as close as I am with this camera, and I get nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm feeling okay. I'm speaking well with them. I don't feel nauseous. I don't feel like I need to run away. I don't feel like anything. So I sat there and I looked at the mom. I said, stop worrying. You're the one that's causing the problems. And she got really offended. And she started kind of like growling at me. And I says, I'm going to spend some time talking to your daughter, and you need to leave. And she looked at me, but I'm the one paying. I said, I don't care if you pay me or not and stuff. You need to leave, because I need to spend time with your daughter and talk to her. She's the one that I'm concerned about. What you're worrying about is your own fears and worries, which is getting the best of you. You need to set that aside and please take a walk. And finally, she left, and I sat down and I talked to the daughter. and the daughter was crying, just crying. And I put my hand across and I held her hands and says, you know what, as I'm gonna be straight with you. I've been sitting here. I told her about my reaction to cancer, and I says, I'm not getting that reaction from you. And she said, yeah, but I get this lump. I says, well, if you just sit there and allow me to, look at the air. And she thought she needed to lift up her dress, and she was going, like that. And I said, no, 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 no. I can do it right here. And so she sat across from me, and I closed my eyes and I just let my imagination flow. And I went to her breast, which was, I'm sitting here looking across on my left, so that was her right breast. And I saw the lump area. And as I started looking around, there was no swelling, there was no inflammation. It didn't look unusual. The only thing that looked unusual is that it seemed like it was extra fatty cell. And that's what I told her. I says, you folks been worried for nothing. It's just extra fatty cell that sometimes grow, and sometimes women experience that. And if you leave it there, it's not going to cause you any problems. But if you want it removed, you can see a doctor and they can remove it for you if you want. But it's not cancer, okay? And she's over there, are you sure? Says, yeah. And I says, why? Says, my mom felt it. She said it felt exactly like the cancer she had in her. And I says, well, we all experience things different. How your mom experienced it and felt it, that was her. And she, the daughter, is different. So to remove her fears, I knew that she would have to see a doctor. So there's some doctors that I checked off before, and so I made some suggestions. Go and see these doctors if you want, and see if they can help you. But have them check the area. But I tell you, you don't have cancer. Put that fear aside. And finally, she was okay with that, and I called the mom back, while the daughter was away, I talked with the mom, and basically I said, stop making your daughter feel afraid because there's nothing wrong. And the mom was convinced that I was wrong. I says, no, it's cancer. So how do you know? Are you a doctor? No, that's the same thing I had. I says, well, same, similar is not the mean, not being similar does not mean the same. Okay. Yes, you had a lump, but hers is different from yours, what you had. And a doctor will confirm that. Go see a doctor. Okay. So they finally gave in, and, within a week of me meeting with them, she went to see the doctor that I had recommended, and she called me up all excited. Dave, it's exactly what you said with extra fatty tissue. I don't have anything to worry. I says, yeah. And so that's my role that I play as a medical intuitive, to help people get the right treatment, and especially having them go to see a doctor if they're afraid. Yeah, remove a doubt. Sometimes our fears are greater than the actual illness. Okay, and our fears will take us down faster than anything else. Okay. Anyway, that's my talk story time. And for those of you who want to enroll in any of my class, go onto my website. You can find it, Haki'i. I have Haki'i 1 and 2 and Haki'i Healing. So there are three different classes for Haki'i, and all of them focus on different parts of the Haki'i methodology. Okay. So on Friday I will be posting for the Powerball, and the Powerball is climbing up. Tomorrow, you have another draw, and I'll be making numbers. In fact, teaching my neighbor how to do the grids, and it will be exciting to see how he does tomorrow. Okay, so until Friday, this is Dave Wallace from Wahiawa, Hawaii, wishing you folks well, and until Friday, aloha.